morning weigh-in time, and so yesterday I was 176 point something, now I'm 177, but today actually I'm going to expect that to go up a little bit because of yesterday's training. Now whenever I do legs I tend to get a little bump in weight, so let's see. Actually still the same, 176.8. So, weight stayed the same even after a leg day. No cardio implemented as yet, so that is good because that means once the edema and everything like that has settled down from the training, I expect to see a drop either tomorrow or at least the day after. Cardio this week is going to be subtle. It's not going to be anything crazy. It's going to be around about 300 calories in total. That'll be it. And I'll do it probably, what I'll try and do is, depending on time I get to the gym and things like that, I'll either do it on cross trainer or I might start adding in a little bit of bag work. I'll give you a sneak peek as well. Check out, this is one of the new lines that'll be dropping in a couple of weeks, date to come. Check it out. So this is like, I'm not entirely sure what to call it yet. It's like a misty red, like a pastel red, so it's not in your face. It's really nice and subtle with the charcoal sleeves and those tapered lines, and then look at the curve on that hem. Hell yeah! So breakfast, I'm gonna have mixed berries this time, not just raspberries. So I got blackberries, strawberries, cherries and everything there. Got 1 sachet of golden syrup rolled oat porridge, or quick porridge even, and 1 sachet of the protein golden syrup porridge. And today having 100 ml of milk with 50 ml of water, and that is giving this consistency, which seems to be enough. But remember that frozen fruit is also going to give off some liquid once it hits the microwave, so put that in and check it every minute and a half, see how it feels. Usually takes 3 minutes. And the standard awesome double team of Marmite butterly spread. There were 2 of these, but I already ate one. Breakfast, and again I've done the usual thing, is I've got up, had my tea, weighed myself and kind of fasted through doing a bit of morning work, and I have my breakfast, and it's nice when days like this, especially in Britain, come outside, get some sun, a bit of air, separate yourself from the working environment, and then go back in refreshed and feeling good. Oh, sunshine is so beautiful, swearing to move. SoCal calling me, I can hear it. Hear it? I can hear it. Oh yeah, check out these. I think I've shown them before. These are my Swole Panda Wayfarers, and they're made completely of bamboo. They're so light, really nice. And you know, I said in my other videos I'm going to be cheeky and I'm going to start messaging people that I buy stuff off. Well, I did it, and you know what? They came back and said no problem. So you can hit up Lex10 discount code on Swole Panda's website, and you get yourself a nice little pair of bamboo glasses. Good thing I like about them is when you're on holiday, they float, so you can't lose them in the sea. Win. Got some brown rice on the go in there. Finishing off the other half of the packet of that, so about 100 grams. And then we had what was in here, the Tupperware rest of the burrito chili. 218 grams of that, so it's a good sized portion, very low in fat. As always, whenever you're dieting and volumizing, it's what's going to keep you happy, keep you satisfied. So make sure that you're picking clever food. You get a large portion, but don't smash your macros. Right, so set for the gym. We're going to go head in. Today I think it's hamstrings and chest. So just get myself set. I'm going to have a bit of a different run today. So I'm going to start using some of these because we're in the fat burning stage. I'm going to try some of these Thermopures. I'm going to take 3 of those now before I go. But because I'm taking these now and they're going to kick in pretty sharpish, I have my pre-workout in here, which is the Pulse V4. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to drink that and release it during my workout. That's just residual bits of me being a messy pup. So I'm going to, once these I feel these kick in, I'm going to release this into here and start sipping that through the workout. And then I have my aminos in here, which I'll then consume as well during. So I have a good amount of water. I've got a good 2, nearly 3 litres of water there for just training. So when it's really hot weather like it is today, our gym is very warm, so you have to stay really well hydrated. Not only for health and everything like that, but also if you want to sustain a pump, if you want to sustain that blood flow and everything, you need to be hydrated. So the better you are hydrated, the better the pump's going to be. Just eating, I've just had that burrito meat with the rice. I'm now going to do the classic YouTuber thing. Lainey picked me up some of these the other day, so I'm going to give one of these a run on the way in. Alongside, I have in my bag one of those Jaffa Alpen bars for when I'm there. Let's go. We're going to do hamstrings and chest. Yep. Hamstrings and chest. So we're doing a lead in like we did with the squats. So we start 120, aim to go to working sets of 150. So we're going to do just 2-3 reps on 120, 2-3 reps on 140, and 150 will go. What we're looking for on here is to not let the body come up. We're looking to keep our feet nice and straight, stay tucked down. The reason we've got belts on is because yesterday we did the squatting, and this can pull on your lower back if it feels tender, so that's what we do. That's it, that's all you need. So all you're looking for on those lead-ins is just to start setting the weight through the muscle and give it a chance to load up rather than going in straight away heavy, maybe popping or twinging something. Try, if you are finding you're having a bit of a tenderness in your lower back after squatting and doing hamstrings, put a belt on. Does make a difference, but also stop your body rocking. So this is a heavy rotational week, and again, as with the previous video, we always do warming sets. So we work our way up from like around about 50 to 60% up to 80 to 90% of the working weight we're going to be using. And then we aim to do a similar thing of the 5x5 kind of training, aiming for 5-6 reps over 5 sets. If we complete all 5 sets using that weight and hit 5 reps on each set, the next week we will move up in weight. But if we don't, if we fail on anything towards the final set, then we tend to stick to that same weight until we can do the 5x5, as with the standard ruling. What you really need to address when you're doing this movement is to make sure that your feet are aligned at all times. You want to make sure that they're not going to twist off, because that's what your body's going to want to do. If you're letting your feet twist, then obviously that can move upward through into the knee joint and the hip and put your posture out of whack. As I said previously, I took my pre-workout during the workout on this one because legs do take quite a long time to kind of get through due to the stretching and rest points, and seem to work quite well. First time I'd used Thermopure, and I'll keep using that and let you guys know how I get on. Here you can see from left to right, upper body not moving, everything symmetrical, and look how my feet are nice and lined up. I'm pulling through from my heels, and I'm concentrating as if this is like a preacher curl for bicep. That's how you should be feeling it on your hamstring. That's how well you should be able to focus this exercise on these type of machines. They are very, very effective. And if you're not feeling the contraction where you should be, get your spotter to put his fingers on the point of the muscle where it should be contracting, and that's going to help connect your mind to muscle. If not, you lighten the weight so that you don't have to grip the front of the bench and reach back and put your hands on the muscle yourself and try and feel through that weight and then work your way back up. So remember that hips and chest, remember? Boom. Chest up, head up. Head neutral, chest up. Keep it there as you go down. Drag it down your legs. Then drive through the hips, chest up all the way to top. So straight leg deadlifts, again, same thing applies. We always warm in using a lighter weight. This is really good in helping you set your body posture, load points and technique. Also helps warm up all the stabilizer muscles that are going to be working during that movement. And you're going to find if you do these warming sets and really concentrate, don't just get under the weight and start throwing it around and just shifting it around in the movement. Really think about where you should be feeling it, where the body should be positioned, and how you even grip the bar, grip the handles, things like that. Prepare yourself for those heavier weights on the heavier weeks, and you're going to feel much, much better. Take 1-2 sets to do this. Sometimes we even do 3, just depends how tight we're feeling and what we've done on the previous days. Here I'm just showing you that we did a couple of 2 warming sets, I think it was, using a 20 aside. Then we moved up and started moving into our more heavier working weights. This movement, we kind of do this on and off. We have started putting it in a little bit more regularly, and it is a tough movement to get used to. So if you haven't done it before, haven't done it much, take your time. This is not a motion that you can kind of just hope that by putting the weight through a certain range it's going to work. This exercise really requires focus. We used chalk here to make sure that the bar rolling or anything like that wasn't going to be an issue, and that we just felt really confident in the grip. And that's what I mean by setting yourself in with those warming sets, so that you can isolate those variables that are going to annoy you during the heavier sets, remove them, and then go into your heavier work confident and solid. So with these straight leg triceps, the aim of this is to get a really good stretch. You should be feeling it all the way down the back of the hamstring, into the calf, even down to your Achilles if you're quite tight. And what you're going to try and do is get down to a good point, load the stretch, and you're going to load in the heel, and you're going to start the movement from the hips. The trick here is to not pull up with your back. The first point of motion is driving from the heels, the hips through, and that's going to help keep the load on the hamstrings. This is all about the negative, and as you go forward with this exercise, you should slowly get deeper and deeper as the hamstrings begin to stretch out a little bit and get more supple as you move on. So always aim to go just a touch lower, but without sacrificing form. So you want to keep a nice flat back, nice neutral posture, driving through from the heels and hips, keeping your chest up as you come through. What you don't want to do is kind of hyperextend like you might do with a deadlift. You want to try and keep the load on the hamstrings. And this is not an easy exercise. And you do need to take time to get used to it, to get used to being able to connect to the hamstring through a stretch, a load that's effectively just a stretch. It's a very, very different movement. So don't rush it, take time, keep the bar close to the legs, and just work on keeping the complete load through the heels and the hips, stabilizing with the back. If you're going to lift heavy, put a belt on, it's going to give you a lot more confidence. So we moved up. I think this was our final set where we actually wrapped up and we got up to 264 pounds. The previous weight is 242, which was raw, and we'd done about 5. That was 5 sets. So I showed you the first and the last set. And then because my grip was the limiting factor on that 242, I did put some straps on, put some more weight on there to see if it was just the grip that was holding me back, and it was. So I managed to get, I think I got 5 or 6 reps on this 262. So what I want to do is improve my grip strength. So I don't want to be using straps more than I need to. So in the future, here's where you see how I'm shaking at the legs there, perfectly putting the load where it needs to be through those hamstrings. That's what you should be doing. You shouldn't be feeling it in your back. But just as I was saying before, I'm going to utilize maybe an extra set on some of those where my grip becomes a limiting factor, put some straps on and put the weight up so that I'm getting my body used to lifting the heavier weight, but I'm also making the grip work through the earlier sets. Moving on, this is our warm-up for chest that we did afterwards. Now this is a really simple one, but very, very good for helping warm up the rotator cuffs and shoulders. All you're going to do is take a light dumbbell, you're going to rotate inward as you can see me doing here, and just before, like you saw Mikey doing, you're going to rotate outward. You don't do them at the same time, you do them separately, so you go from neutral to inward or neutral to outward. And you're going to do this kind of 3 sets, 10 reps each way, until you feel nice and warm. The aim is to keep the shoulders back, as you can see here, scapula engaged but not tensed, and what you're trying to do is roll the shoulder joint in the socket. Really, really nice warm-up, very simple to do and very effective. So for chest, what we moved on to was incline press starters. Now, this seems like a simple motion. Most people think they've got this down pat, but there's a couple of little things that you can address to instantly make this movement feel better. One, make sure that you've got your feet nice and deep and that you've got a slight arch in your lower back. As you're coming down, watch around the gym, you're going to see this all over the place. A lot of people let the outer head of the dumbbell, the one furthest away from the chest, tilt towards the floor, which then brings the inner head of the dumbbell upward. What that's doing is displacing the weight outward. What you want to try and do is keep the inner head of the dumbbell feeling like it's tilted inward. To you it's going to feel like a big difference, but in reality it's going to maybe move 1 or 2 centimeters. But what that's going to do is keep the load over the chest. It's going to keep the load also where it needs to be around the shoulder area rather than on the shoulders themselves. You also want to make sure that you're not overreaching or dipping the chest at the top of the exercise. So as you're coming upward, your shoulders should stay back as you press up, and your chest should stay up. If you are overextending and dipping your chest, you're doing nothing more than working the shoulder joints, and that's not a good thing. What we do here is when we're working on the heavy weight, I'm going to show you the first and last sets again. And what you'll see is I'm going to take the weight to the top of the first rep for Mikey. It doesn't count as a rep, but what we're doing is we're not making the shoulders work from an overstretched position. I take the weight up under the elbows, he does the same for me, and the starting position is the top of the first movement. So the dumbbells start at the top, that's the beginning of our rep. You'll see here he puts his hands under my elbows and he literally takes the entire weight up to the top. I'm relaxed there. What that does is it doesn't overstretch my shoulders, and it also saves me energy. So I can concentrate starting from a strong position and get as many actual reps as I can. So here you can see I'm keeping the chest up, arching my lower back. My feet are quite deep, you can't see them here. And I'm keeping those dumbbells parallel or slightly tipped in. I slightly tip them in as I come down, you can see there. What we also concentrate on here is not free falling through the repetition. So many people you'll see when they're lifting dumbbells will almost controlled free fall the weight back down towards the chest. The negative has to be as strong as the positive. The negative is working muscle just like the positive is working the muscle. So here what you're going to see on Mikey is he has a left side which has a little bit of an imbalance issue. So he's going to drop his left elbow a little bit lower than he should be. I'm going to pick that up because that's my job as a spotter. I'm watching him and helping him improve. So you see I put my hands out then so he can feel that one's touching before the other one. And the trick here to correct this is very, very simple but very effective. His left side was dropping faster than his right. So here's what we do. He follows the right side down with the left on the negative, and then as he presses, he follows the left side up with his right arm. And that will correct your imbalance. So I'll just go through that again. He has a left side weakness where he's dropping it lower. So he follows the strong side down with his weak side, and then he follows his weak side up with the strong. And what that does is it stops one arm overtaking the other. So this is a very important factor that you need to kind of be able to register yourself. If your spotter tells you you're doing something wrong, believe him. When they adjust you, if you've had this imbalance for quite a long time, you're going to feel like you're off balance. But trust me, if they're telling you you're getting back on track, listen to them. Here we did the 5x5, felt really nice, felt really strong. Even here on this final rep there, you can see it felt like a real grinder, but watching it back, it went up nice and smooth and very controlled. It is really, really important to have control through all your movements. Control is strength and strength is progression. So we moved on from a compound movement free weight onto a machine. I quite like doing that. I often move from a compound to an isolation. Remember, I'm doing everything twice per week, so this was the first time that chest was hit this week, and it'll be hit again later in the week. Actually, it's going to be hit this Monday instead because I've taken Sunday off, and I will repeat this session on Monday, but I'll utilise different exercises. So I don't know what the weight was here, but you can see we were 2 plates off the full stack to do this. What we do is we use a high grip, thumbs up, and making sure that our elbows are nice and high in line with our shoulders. As you can see, we're not letting the shoulders pop forward. Our head is up, chin tucked back, nice and neutral. We're keeping our shoulders back and we're not overreaching or overstretching. So here we are with just some raw footage of both of our final sets on the chest.
Let's get them shoulders down, good. Relax the face, relax the neck. Here we go, come on. Final one, that's 2. Come on. Come on. 3. Good. Come on. Let's go. Get it up, finish it. Come on, Mikey. Come on, Mikey. Come on. Come on. Good. I'll do. Let's try to spot you with one finger. Yeah. Nice legs, come on.
Get your back on. Fucking plant legs. 2, 3.
Lift it, don't shift it. So we finished with forearms as our accessory movement. A couple of nice little tips here is to have your thumb under the dumbbell when you're doing this. Also tuck your elbow nice and tight into your side, forearm slightly on your inner thigh, and hunker your weight over your elbow. That should really help stabilize you. Using the under thumb grip as well, it just seemed to give a much better stretch and contraction. It made it harder. So that's everything for this workout, guys. I hope those little hints and tips have helped you out. If you give them a go, let me know how you get on, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that thumbs up. You're here anyway. Click away, baby.